in the soaks. Everybody who is going to be in the soaks, which is everybody in the raid, remember, if you get targeted with the dot, which is the giant circle around your character, the consuming miasma, and you are up for a soak, you take the soak. Nobody dispels you until you are down in the lower area. So if you get targeted with a circle, just continue to do your soak as normal. Healers, please never dispel anybody who is standing in the soak. That's the whole thing. When you get that soak, or when you get that circle mechanic, that dot, it's going to be a big circle around your character. Run to the puddles that are typically going to be in the middle of the room. You don't have to run into them; just run near them, and then the dispel will basically mop up that little bit of floor. If you have personal cooldowns and want to clear as much as you can certainly burn a personal cooldown, jump in there, and call for a dispel. That way, one of our healers can dispel you. Hopefully, they will be keeping an eye on you. Any questions?
Yeah, does it clear the puddle when you get dispelled, or when you just
When
like
you get
nearby?
dispelled. Only when you get dispelled.
Okay.
That's why it needs to happen pretty rapidly. That you want to pop a cooldown, jump into the puddle, get a dispel.
Okay.
All right, this is going to be a ready check for the pull. Otherwise, this fight, like I said, aside from tuning, is basically the exact same thing as the normal.
What's this knockback that the Moonguard guy's talking about?
It's going to be part of the dispel. So when you get dispelled, it knocks the character up, and anybody who is in that dispel or in that circle when they get dispelled will also be knocked up.
Ah, okay.
All right, on the tanks.
Luck cookies, please.
You want us to call out when the big mob's about to be heading up top when we get that shield down?
I mean, I'll be calling it out throughout the fight. All right, odds group, be ready to soak. All right, odds, go in and soak. And DPS the ads down. Make sure you interrupt the fear ad so that it doesn't continue to cast fears on us. Little ads are up top. Make sure you guys are DPSing those down. Alright. Big ad is rotating up top. Everybody focus big ad. Okay, Evil, go ahead and drop your AMZ up here next to the boss, please. Everybody stand in the AMZ. Pop a personal cooldown. Help the healers out. Okay, there's a dispel. Go take those to the puddles, guys. Alright, soaks up. This is evens. Everybody in even soak. And up top, let's switch over to the small ads that just popped up. Okay, there's some dispels going out. Beautiful.
I need to target something first.
Big ad is up. Focus it down. Oreo, can you drop an AMZ, please? Preferably not. Yeah, perfect. Right. So I'll get close to the front of the platform here. Let's bait the breath out. And then we'll run back over to Moon. Got 10 seconds for some more of the debuffs. Let's get these ads gripped in, please. Consuming miasmas are going out in 5. We need to clear these big puddles. All right, dispel those quick. Let's get those done before the breath. Perfect. Please take the dispels to the puddles. I know you were waiting for a phase there, but stay on top of that, please. Okay, here comes the miasma in 7 seconds. We need to clear up this these puddles in the back. And we might be skipping it. Alright, here comes the dive in. Yeah, get those over here, please. Alright, odds be ready to soak. Odds soak.
Come on,
Get
move
those
over, thank you.
dispels over to the puddles, please.
I didn't get dispelled.
Yeah, it wouldn't let me target you for some reason.
Oh, bummer.
Need more damage on this big ad. Alright, everybody switch to ads. Alright, use your personal cooldowns. This consume's gonna hurt. Okay, evens get ready to soak. If you have a dispel and you're an even, please still just soak. We need you down below. Alright, perfect. Get those ads DPS down. Watch the frontal and the boss. Ads are spawning on the top side. Burn those down. Got miasmas going out here in just a moment. Clear the middle so that we can drop those dispels. Can we get a dispel on Licking Good, please? Looks like we failed DPS on the big ad down below. Let's get an AMZ down. I don't know that we're going to survive this one.
Hell yeah.
Alright, bait
Yeah,
out the
team's
breath.
complete.
What was that?
Nothing to worry.
Okay, let's get these ads pulled into the middle. Keep the fear ad interrupted. Get those to puddles, guys. Let's clean this up. Should be the last group. We got miasmas coming out right now. Personal cooldowns for this dive in. Did we phase the miasmas? Yeah.
I can't do that yet.
Okay, odds get ready to soak.
Oh.
Odds please soak.
Not ready yet.
And DPS the ads down. Keep that fear ad interrupted.
Dispel and Hayden. Thank you.
I need to target something first. I'm out of range.
Yeah, not enough damage on that big ad. It's gonna be a wipe, guys. Alright, go ahead and dive off, please. Too many people have died for us to be able to make this happen. Let's clean this up. Come back. We should have it in the next go around. Any questions before we get ready to poll again here?
Yeah. When we go down, we need, how can we group those a little better? Because it looked like I was the only one the last time on the one that needed interrupting. I interrupted it 3 times, but I was like way far away from everybody and a healer. Is there a way to group those better?
I mean, really, it's just interrupting, and the tank has to grab threat. So,
When you
And-
interrupt, are you stunning or are you using an interrupt?
I used an interrupt, then I hit a stun because nobody else was over there, and
Yeah.
then on the 3rd time I hit my regular interrupt.
Okay, because if you use an interrupt and the tanks have been doing their AoE or their throw glaive or whatever the equivalent, the ad should run into the tank. If you stun, it might make it awkward, but if you only stun it the second time, it should come in.
Mhm. Okay, so just don't
Alright,
use the stuns.
think
For when we do
Evil-
go down, notice a little bit of early damage going on. Just wait till the tanks plant, and then blast it.
Okay.
I was gonna say, when you're
All right, Cal, thank you. I appreciate it. Can you please just let me talk for a moment? Okay, Evil and Think, I swapped you guys out, so now we have a DK in both groups. That should help out a lot more with the grips down below. Everybody else, remember, stuns do slow the progress of the ads when they're moving around the arena. So if you have to use the stun, use it, but otherwise, please stick to interrupts. That way they will stop casting and continue to run towards their primary targets. Anybody else have any other questions before we poll again?
Not a question, just give me 2 seconds to fix my AMZ. My AMZ macro, sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm good.
All right, on the tanks. All right, group one, or sorry, odds, get ready for soak. Odds, get in soak. When you get down below, give the tanks a moment to gather up the ads. Make sure you help with interrupting the fear ad.
Go.
Dispels in the beginning, just make sure that you are ready for these puddles. Puddles are coming out now. Clear the middle so we can get some dispels on these puddles. And let's get a dispel on that, please. We've got perfect. All right, ads are up top. Make sure you guys are clearing those out. All right, everybody's back up top. DPS big ad down. Evil, this is going to be your AMZ once we get the consume phase started. Please drop AMZ now. Okay, evens, get ready for your soaks. Please be ready. If you have a dispel and you are an even, please make sure you get the soak before you go and run to your dispel positions.
I can't do that yet.
Boss frontal in 3. Little ads are spawning. Make sure we get these dropped down. And Miasma's coming out in 2. Make sure the middle is clear so that we can drop those dispels on there. Please get those dispels in position. Call for a dispel if you don't get one. Can we get one on evil, please? Dispel on evil. Thank you. Big ad is up. All DPS switch. Oreo, this is going to be your AMZ when the consume starts.
Copy.
Alright, let's get that AMZ up, please. Beautiful. Alright, everybody towards the front of the platform. Let's bait this breath out, and then we're running to moon. Okay, run to moon. Alright, let's interrupt those ads, grip them into the middle, and DPS them down. We're having miasmas come out in 4. Let's clear up the middle of the platform. Okay, get those over to some puddles, please. And watch that. Let's get an perfect dispel. Alright, and group up back in the middle. Gonna have another miasma in 10 seconds. Got some more puddles in the middle to clear up. Alright. Okay, here comes the dive. Make sure you use a personal cooldown for this absorb. And odds be ready. This is going to be odds soak in 10 seconds. And odds soak. Give the tank a moment to gather threat. Keep the fear ad interrupted. And DPS them down. Here come the miasmas. Make sure you guys are clear of the middle. Not the miasmas themselves, but everybody else, so that we can get these dispels off. Great job. We got little ads spawning up top. Let's get those down. Fear ad has spawned up top as well. And let's rotate the Colossal Horror over a little so he's not in the puddle when he spawns back up top if we can. Alright.
Just missed.
Yeah, we just missed it. Alright, here comes big damage. Let's get that AMZ up. Evil, this is you. If it's up. Alright. And evens, get ready for your soak. Even soak. You guys don't have. Oh, you have one healer down there. All right, we've got 2 healers missing in the even soak. All right, get those over into position to dispel at the puddles. Yeah, there's not going to be enough damage down there to get this done. All right, it's going to hurt a lot. We're probably going to wipe again, but just keep going. We've got little ads spawning up top. Let's clear those up. And second AMZ if we have it. Yep, that's a wipe. All right, clean it up. All right, we have a number of people failing to get their soaks. We're going to pull this one more time. I'm going to keep a close eye on soaks. Please, please, please be in your soak when it goes off. Can we get a mass res? Careful at the middle of the platform there. Boss is going to spawn. Damage isn't particularly an issue yet, but if it continues to be a problem, we're going to have to reduce the group size just because of the number of errors that we're experiencing. So, does anybody not understand which group they are in or what the soak mechanic is intended to do?
I have one question. When we have the dispel on us, the circle that we use to clear, do we just focus on that even though we're part of the group that needs to
Nope.
soak?
No.
Okay.
Always soak over dispel. So those circles will persist for a long time, and our healers are good enough to keep you alive for a long time.
Okay, so do the soak.
Absolutely. Always focus the soak before anything else. Okay, man. Can we just not do the mute unmute thing?
Yeah, but now everyone's stuck muted. I'm getting everyone unmuted. Just give me I have to do it individually.
Yeah, I'm helping. I'm going from the bottom.
Thank you. I'm doing the top.
Yeah, I'd prefer that everybody stay unmuted so that we can have callouts for when people need dispels and they're not getting them.
Okay, everyone's unmuted. We're good.
All right, healers, do you guys all understand the dispel mechanics? Looks like Aldern is the one who's doing the majority, with Romello kind of in second there. But I want to make sure that everybody understands how that works and what the intent is.
Yeah, last time I just got a bit greedy. I thought I could make the dispel before the soak, and I died on the way back to the soak, which is why a bunch of people wiped on that underside.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So let me just reiterate then. If you get a if you get a dispel and you are due to soak, soak first. Healers do not dispel anybody who is soaking. We will dispel them when they get down below. We've got enough healers and they're spread across all the groups. So if you get a dispel and you're due to soak, go soak first, then get into a position where you're not going to knock a bunch of damage into the group when your dispel goes off. Call for a dispel when you need it, but don't call for a dispel if you're in the soak. Soak is always more important than getting the dispel over to an opportune location. We will not dispel you until you've done the soak. The goal is to get as many people in your group down below so that those ads can get down as quickly as possible. What we were doing there was we failed twice on the DPS checks to get those ads dead and pushed up to the top side, which is why our healers had to overcompensate and do some amazing healing. Fantastic work, by the way, but the goal is to get those ads down. So once again, if you get the dispel while you are due to soak, soak first, then handle the dispel mechanic.
Wait, that just sounded backwards. Did I hear it backwards?
No, if you get the dispel and you are due to soak, do the soak first and handle the dispel mechanic afterward.
Correct. While you're down beneath.
Yep. Provo, are you there?
Here.
Okay, on the tanks. Okay. All right, groups 1, 3, and 5. Odds group, be ready to soak and go soak. Let your tank round up the adds, interrupt the fear ad, and DPS them all down. As these small adds die, they will drop puddles. Those puddles are what we are dispelling for. So clear out the middle if we can. Go ahead and get those dispels in there, and let's pop those dispels. Beautiful. We need to get this big ad down. Alright, big ad is up top side. Everybody should be rotating to the ads. A lot of ads very close to the boss there. Alright, everybody on big ad. Evil, this is going to be your AMZ as soon as the consume starts. And AMZ. Okay, a little close.
Sorry.
All good. Alright. Evens, this is your soak. Please be in position and ready. If you are targeted with a dispel on this soak, don't worry about it. Get the soak done first, then dispel below. Can I get a dispel on Willgate, please? Thank you. Watch that cone. And little lads are up. We've got miasmas coming out in 1 second. This is going to be dispels. Please get those to the puddles. And let's get evil dispelled. Everybody switch DPS to big ad. Big ad is up. Everybody should be on the big ad. Every single DPS should be on the big ad. Alright. Oreo, please go ahead and drop your AMZ. Alright, rotate to the middle. Bait the breath out. And then we'll move back to moon. And to moon. Alright, let's get these down. Miasmas in 5. Make sure you go to these puddles that are forming in the middle, and let's get those dispelled. Got the breath coming in 1 second, so be careful. Get a dispel on, okay, she got it, perfect. Try and get these stacked up on these other puddles. These little lads are the things that are spawning the puddles. Okay, and here comes dive in. Make sure you use a personal cooldown to reduce the damage you take. And let's get the boss back in position. Odds, this is going to be your soak. Odds soak in 5. Odds get in and soak. And let your tank round up the adds.
I'm gonna move it back a little bit so we get more walkway.
The spells get in position and drop those spells. We need to focus this big ad. We need to get that little ad in. Can we get a grip, please? And we need to get this big ad dead right now. We're too close to this. Push. We need more damage on this. Alright, we got it. Everybody switch to big ad now. Oreo, this is going to be your AMZ, please.
Mine's up in 5.
Okay, everybody use a personal. Alright, even soak, get in. Alright, you guys are missing a healer and 2 DPS. Be careful down there. Use any cooldowns you have. Alright, switch to small ads as they spawn, guys, up top. We've got the spells going out. Please make sure you guys
Dispel
are using
Haven.
personal
Take it
cooldowns. What's the shield like on big guy?
Almost down.
Alright,
Yeah,
he's
it's
up.
up.
Everybody switch. Everybody switch right now. All DPS on big ad right now. Alright, and we need an AMZ up here, please. Don't care who, just somebody drop one. Everybody stand in the bubbles. Let's bait this breath out. Alright, back to moon. Got miasmas in 10. Don't get hit by the breath, guys. Do not be in the middle. Okay, we got miasmas coming out again here in just a moment. We've got a few puddles that we can clear out. Get a dispel on Willgate, please. Thank you. And let's clear those puddles in the middle. Beautiful. Alright, burn this ad down. Alright, use a personal cooldown. Here comes the dive. Alright, odds, be ready to soak. Odds soak in 5. Everybody on the odds side, please soak. And burn the ads down. Interrupt everything, burn the ads down. Can we get these tighter, please? Alright, little ads are up top. All DPS should be rotating over. Big ad is up top. And everybody burn the ads. Everybody on the ads. Do we have any AMZ?
18 seconds on my.
Okay. Personal cooldowns. Use your lock
Cookies.
rocks. Okay. This is going to be even soak. Evens get in position for the soak. If you have a dispel and you are even, please stay in the soak. Alright, get those ads pulled away from the boss. Just keep it up, guys.
GG.
Fantastic.
One day, the goddess may be able to shape what forms here into what they should be. Until then,
Congrats to everybody who got their trinkets.
world from their rage and sorrow. Thank you, friend.
And anybody who gets tier. Make sure you loot the boss for your crest. We're going over to March on Kildonis now.
Damn it, Nugs.
I need it too, bro.
Yeah. We got a portal or something?
Yep, your Hearthstone.
Oh, okay.
Mages are on a strike.
Yep, we're going to Kildonis. We're finishing up our normal from last night. It's alright, we've only killed the first boss. We did that last night. This will be our first attempt on the second boss. We will be pulling until our break, at which point I will make the decision as to whether or not we stay here or just move on and do first few bosses of Void Spire on Heroic. Alright everybody, let's get in here please. Get these summons out. I want to get this this trash done so that we can get a pull or two on the boss before break. Alright, let's get this trash dead.
I need to get closer.
Okay. Alright, I need somebody who can safely reset the boss and knows that they can without goofing it to please be ready to do that. Somebody just call out for it. Whoever wants to do it, please do once the boss is pullable. Oh, it looks like we still got a little bit of trash to kill. 1 sec. Alright, Provo. Once we get
Your
this
moment
trash
to
dead.
shine.
Can I get an auction mount or auction mount before we pull real quick?
You have to go outside for the mount.
Sad.
Psych. Has a long stun.